Hi guys, how are you? I wanted to do a video after Beltane, but I got slammed with reads, which is good, but I also was like, man, I really wanted to talk about the energy. The energy was so amazing. I hope all of you had a happy Beltane or happy May Day, whatever you call it. I call it Beltane. And I did, and it was amazing. The energy was so great. Very prosperous, very loving, very happy. And that's what it's all about during this time, right? All right. Oh, dang, that one's all used up. All right. I go through these like crazy. Now, I have... Oh, shoot. I only have a half hour because I have a reading to do. So we're going to just check on the energies, do an energy check-in, see how everybody's doing, and we'll take it from there, okay? I missed you guys. I hope you're well. All right, let's see. And if you hear my son, he's playing outside. Actually, he's so excited. I'm going to take him to see the Minecraft movie. We're going to have a little date. I'm going to take him to see the movie. Going to go out for lunch. Should be fun. All right. Okay. For the collective spirit, what do my divines need to know? Yes, of course. They want to cover some of the karmic bullshit. We'll do that real quick. Okay. Okay, so the karmics are using, they're going to keep using different tactics to bring down my divines, right? So, I mean, they've gossiped. That didn't work. They tried to do a smear campaign. That didn't work. I feel currently they're kind of trying to, like, find anything at this point. It's like I see them scurrying around like roaches and rats. Sorry to be, that's what they're showing me. They're just like, they're scurrying around. They're looking for anything, any little tidbit of information that they can get on my divines to obviously twist it, make them look bad in some way, bring down their character, be like, look, this is who they really are, and it's bullshit. They're not, the reason why they're not going to find anything is because there is nothing. There's nothing. And the sad part about all of this is that the more they do it, the more energy they're sending out to try and, they're so transfixed. God, they're like, it's borderline obsession at this point. Because they tried to mimic what you were doing. They tried to steal your work. They tried to steal your essence. They tried to steal your path. But that's not working because obviously you're highly protected. And no one, you can't mimic someone else's energy. I don't know why they think they can, but remember, did I tell you guys? My God, it's so crazy. Because I heard this hawk outside. It was gorgeous. I just heard this hawk just making its noise. Just caw, caw, and it was like freaking out. It was a different cry than usual. Because, I hear them, I'm surrounded by them. And they're awesome. And it's one of my strongest totems. But, it literally killed a mockingbird on the property. And I went out and I heard the screech, and I went out and I saw a pile of feathers. I mean, the bird wasn't there, but there was a pile of feathers. And, hawk medicine is very strong. It takes a lot to have hawk medicine. People with hawk medicine see the big picture. They see through the lies and the bullshit. They have advantage points. They fly above and are able to assess the situation and, hunt their prey. So the mockingbird symbol is pretty interesting because mockingbird is a mimic. Mockingbird likes to copy other birds' noises, does car alarms, can it's like a parrot almost. It can mimic any kind of sound. So I thought it was funny. Not that I don't like mockingbirds either. That's good medicine as well. It depends on what you're using it for. If you're using it in a positive way, it's good. If you're using it to copy other people, So I found it interesting that the hawk killed the mockingbird on my property, and I was looking at it, and I was just like, well, that's symbolic, So because I'm all about peace, love, and happiness, I took the feathers and out of respect for the mockingbird sacrificing its life force, I made a medicine um, a medicine stick. Like, I mean, there's pictures of it on my page. I did it for Bellatine, and it was just really healing. It was like, oh, you know. But let that be a warning to the karmics that are trying to copy my divines. You know, you're not. It's not going to happen. It's the protection is always there for us. The vibration is higher. You're dealing. Karmics are trying to deal with an energy or fight with an energy that they're not even at their level. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's almost like someone shooting an arrow up in the sky and the arrow comes down and just gets them in the chest. Why are you doing it? You can't reach. So you're actually, it's someone who like cuts their nose to spite their face. It's that kind of energy. And I mean, no matter how many times I try and tell the karmics, I try and tell them, look, stop. You got to stop. They're just making it worse for themselves. It's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. And, you know, I'm done feeling sorry for them because they're, like I said, they're like these little kids that just aren't getting it. And they keep trying and trying and trying. And it's just it's going to end up bad. Sorry. You know, it's raining today. My hair is just, I don't know what it's doing. It's doing what it's doing. Anyway. So that's the energy I'm getting. And I just wanted you guys to know that you don't have to worry about it. Continue doing your work. Should you put, you know, I do everything under my business name. So if anybody tries to steal my stuff, I could just take them to court and, you know, sue them. So do it. Make sure you have a trademark or copyright or LLC or everything's done under your business. So this way that you know no one can steal your work and make it their own. A lot of people need to do that. They run out of ideas. They run out of inspiration, you know. And my divines are very inspirational. You know, you guys are very... I always bring up the muses, you know, because the 9 muses are just so creative and they each have a certain gift that they bring to the table. But you guys are a culmination of all those gifts and you have all these talents. And, you know, some people just don't have that. So they try to mimic it, they try to steal it, they try to copy it. They try to smear your name and do a smear campaign. They're going to do what they got to do. Now, this may not resonate with all of you, and it doesn't necessarily mean you own your own business and this is what they're doing. It could just be that you're working at a job and someone's taking or trying to take credit for your job or the work that you do, you know? And that's so frustrating. That's happened to me more than once. Where it's like, wait, it's like, excuse me, I'm the one that brought this idea to the table. It's so crazy how people can just swoop in and try to do that. So I just want you to know, just focus on your work. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. No one can mimic you. No one can steal from you. And no one's going to take from you. They don't vibe high enough to do so. And if they keep continuing to try, it's just going to drop at their feet or they're going to... It's almost, like I said, it's like shooting the arrow up. They keep showing me someone that keeps hitting their toe or stubbing their toe. The karmics might be getting a lot of backlash right now. Like, a lot of karma is hitting them now. So anything they've been doing to you is catching up with them. And so now all these annoyances are happening. Whether it's like I'm stubbing my toe, I'm dropping my stuff, I'm missing appointments, I'm oversleeping, I'm overthinking, they're partying way too much or they're doing something. They're doing something to numb, I guess, their pain, but I'm also getting they're so angry and very obsessed with watching, stalking, seeing what you're up to, seeing what you're going to do next, trying to mimic that. They can't mimic it. They try. No matter what they do, they hit blocks, block. These are all the things they were trying to do to you. You know, and it could be anything, too, like spell work on your looks, on your weight, on... your family, your kids. I mean, like I said, I always bring this up, but I do feel like you guys are so heavily protected that they just can't do it anymore and it's not working, but they're not getting it. I'm hoping that they will because, well, look, I don't want to see major harm come to anybody, but if they keep doing what they're doing, that's where it's going to go. That's where it's going to go. So there's enough warnings with that. I do feel like Spirit is telling my divines that you need to still keep protecting yourself. You also need to ask permission. No, not permission. Sorry, wrong word. You also need to ask your spirit guides, angels, whatnot, permission to access you, because if they don't know what's going on with you, you have free will. So if you have that protection up, but you didn't give permission for your spirit guides to step in or your angels to step in, they can't help you. So make sure you do that. Trust me. You want to do that. It makes all the difference. And like I just heard one of my spirit guides, you know, the Karmics are listening to this too. And it's not like I'm giving them some ammo to use against us, because again, they can't use it against us. They can use it to heal themselves, but they can't use what I'm saying against us, because if they do, karma's gonna smack them in the face. It's just not gonna be pretty. So that's it. I can't warn them anymore. I just want you guys to know that you're safe and protected. But you know, it was getting pretty squirrely there. I mean, I'm feeling right now, May, June, July, all of summer is going to be amazing for my divines. You guys are going to be financially abundant, work is flowing, businesses are doing well. You're being smarter about money, because look, we're not really out of the woods yet as far as a country or the world in general. But I do feel that you guys are going to get all the things that you want to manifest. And those dreams are all different for everybody. You know, it doesn't have to be, not everybody wants the white picket fence with the house and the, you know, the Mercedes or whatever you call that. What's the other car that everybody likes? Was it Mercedes and the other one? There's another one. I don't know. Who knows? Obviously, I don't give a shit. I like Jeeps. But thankfully, everybody has a different dream. Not everybody has the same dream. Not everybody wants the same things. I am seeing that more collectively, a lot of people want a homestead, which is amazing. That's the way we should be going. And, you know, they want to get their own land, or they want to build their own home and make it self-sufficient. So that really should be where everybody is going. You know, as far as like the cars and the clothes and the shoes and the jewelry, it only goes so far. You know, who needs, you know, it's really not that important. As much as having a home that is your sanctuary and your safe house. So, but I'm not judging people that want those things. It's nice to have beautiful. I like my jewelry. I wear my witchy jewelry and my happiness. Everything costs money, you know, but I do want you guys to know that whatever it is that you're manifesting, it's really going to be, it's almost divine, like Spirit just said, we're going to show them that their manifestations are coming true. We're going to show them by giving them what they've been putting their energy into, what they've been putting their hard work into, and what it is that they dream of, you know. Now, regarding love, it's still a little crazy out there. I'm noticing that the divine masculines are still doing their best to catch up with the divine feminines. That's not a negative, guys. Please don't take it the wrong way. It's just that the divine feminines have been doing it for a long time, and so they're a bit ahead of the game, and now they're waiting for you guys. We're waiting for you. So I feel like there's a lot of divine masculines that are cleaning up messes. They're trying to get out of karmic situations. They're kind of trying to, no, they are trying to cultivate self-love. I feel like there's a relationship here that I'm picking. And remember, guys, this is collective reading. So if Spirit's giving me a scenario, this doesn't apply to everybody. It applies to somebody. But I am getting there. I'm seeing they're showing me a scenario where there's a divine masculine who's with a karmic that totally berates him, crushes his confidence, tries to keep him in check, possibly uses spell work, possibly gets tarot readings on his life and what he's doing, has a tracker on his car, constantly checking his phone. You know, there's no trust there. There's no loyalty. It's almost like he's a prisoner is what I'm getting. It's a horrible, I'm getting like, ugh. Just, oh my God. I never ever want to be in a situation like that ever. No. This divine masculine is really thinking about his divine feminine, or what it would be like to have a divine feminine, or how it would be to be with someone who uplifts you and is your divine counterpart, and you do this together, working together, loving each other, supporting each other. This energy is not, this divine masculine is not getting that kind of support from the energy that he's with. So I don't know, I just feel like something has to be done. Something has to shift or change, because there's one or two things are going to happen here, okay? Excuse me, I'm sorry. Either the divine masculine is going to finally wake up and see that he deserves better and leave that situation, which I'm going to tell you right now, if he does, she's not going to make it easy. Definitely not going to make it easy for him. Because the last thing she wants is him finding his divine counterpart and living happily ever after. She can't have that, though. The Karmic does not want that. She would probably like to see him dead before she allows that happen. And that's really not funny because, you know, I watch ID Discovery, baby. I've seen snaps, have you? It's pretty fucked up what people will do. But I am getting that this Karmic is just jealous of him, of this divine masculine. You can't grow. You can't shift. You can't elevate. Because the minute you do that, you're going to leave me. And I can't have that. So it's really kind of... And the funny thing is the divine masculine knows this. He sees it. He sees it. And he knows, like, he's like, God, I just want to get the fuck out of here. So he's trying to make this plan to go. But no matter which way he does it, he can't see a way out. Which is, I'm going to tell you, there is a way out. Because nothing's worth somebody constantly, especially if it's a narcissist, trying to keep you stuck when you're supposed to be vibrating higher and doing what you're supposed to do for the collective consciousness. And first of all, Spirit's not going to allow that to happen, all right, Divine Masculine? So if you don't do it, Spirit's going to help you do it. And Spirit's going to make sure it's done. So don't lose hope, but you need to start meeting Spirit halfway if you want to see change. If you don't, and you're going to stay where you are, then I guess you made your bed, lie in it. I don't know. I mean, I hate that saying, but it's true. I don't understand why anybody would want to stay in a situation like that. I think it would be depressing and it would be, bleh. I just couldn't even, you could be with your divine feminine, you know, living your best life, making love, laughing, doing things together, supporting each other's work, going to functions where you have friends and you're why would anybody want to live a rote routine where they're constantly berated, constantly picked on, constantly demasculated? Is beyond me. I don't fathom that. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to give some advice here, but for me, really, and I think any divine feminine, especially, I have a ton of friends who have done it, because we've all had our share of narcissists and been with narcissists. I literally just left. I mean, it took 6 months, but I left, you know. You have to just reach your threshold, I guess, of tolerance until you're ready to leave. That's one thing they're telling me. And they're also saying, you know, timing is everything. Timing is fluid, yes. But until they really are ready to take the leap and just say, I love myself way too much. And the thing is, a lot of divine masculine, excuse me, see? Mm-hmm. A lot of divine masculines kind of use other reasons to stay. Like it's for the kids, or it's because of money, or it's because I don't want to lose my family home, or it's because I don't... The kids I get, the rest is just fluff. It's just stuff. You can make more money. You can get another car. Family home, I mean, I don't know. I guess, to me, I wouldn't... That's a thing. You know, you're a human being with a soul that has work to do. So to me, that's not a big deal. You lose a house, big deal. You know? I mean, I'm not going to say it wouldn't hurt at first, because I've had that happen to me too. I had a beautiful house and everything fell apart, and then I was just like, well, it's just stuff. You know? I'm not happy, so I need to go where I can be happy and where I'm treated with love and respect and honored, you know, for who I am as a person. But you can't be with someone who doesn't honor your spirit. You can't be with someone that's trying to crush your spirit or downplay your spirit. Because sooner or later, your higher self is going to be like, fuck this. I'm out. And the flame is just going to, and then life is just going to be, wow. And you know, guys, when you're building things on a false foundation, breaking it down, yeah, that's going to hurt. Because it's a false foundation. And then when you're rebuilding, it's gonna be like, wow, I'm building my authentic self. This is amazing. This is who I am. This is what I love to do. This is what I enjoy. And that person never liked any of that. all the things that I love that make me happy, they didn't like. Don't you think it's messed up? Because that's you. At the core of it, that's who you are. I mean, when I was with my... I'll just say this. They didn't like the spiritual stuff. They didn't like the psychic stuff. They kept constantly trying to change how I dressed, how I looked, how I did my makeup, everything. What car I drove, what car I didn't drive. It was crazy. I was like, well, I mean, you're trying to create a whole new person. I'm not a Barbie doll. You can't just change the clothes and change the hair and, make it fit. This person wanted me to wear double knit sweaters with pearls and shit. I was like, yeah, I don't do that. When you met me, I didn't do that. When did I ever wear that? And then, like, the witchcraft and all that, so forget about it. I remember I had a pentacle, and I still wear it. I have tons of pendants or pentagrams and pentacles, and I was wearing my pentacle, and maybe it was Valentine's Day, say, and they gave me a star, which was beautiful, but because it wasn't a pentacle or a pentagram, they felt more comfortable that I wore a star. It looked better in front of other people. But then, like, people would be like, oh, so what do you do? And I'd be like, oh, I'm a witch and I'm a psychic medium. And they'd be like, so at least those people that they were hanging out with. Basically what I'm saying is, I couldn't take it. I was like, this is who I am. And I mean, I don't understand why you married me when you knew all this. I think they thought they could change me. And, you can't change someone, for who they're meant to be in life. It's only trying to deter them from the path they're meant to take. So I'm telling you right now, Divine Masculines, I didn't think this was going to be a Divine Masculine reading, but apparently it is. I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to do my reading with the other person, with my client, and then I'll come back and I'll do Divine Feminines. Or maybe I'll just do a separate video. But Divine Masculines, what I'm saying is, if it's not working, if they're not supporting who you really are, why on earth would you want to continue to stay? I mean, the only thing that brings to mind is that you don't love yourself enough. And that's where this all comes down, where you have to cultivate self-love, self-care, honor your spirit, honor your higher self, its dreams, its goals, your dreams, your goals. It's going to take you places that you're meant to be. It's going to give you a divine counterpart that you're meant to build with. If that's what you want. Maybe if you did leave the karmic, I would think you'd probably want to be alone, kind of center and ground yourself and figure out, clear up the collateral damage because there's going to be tons if you leave that karmic. But you can't let fear hold you back, and you certainly can't let a karmic hold you back, because that's no good. You're wasting time. You're wasting years. And, while I always don't like to put a clock to anything, I don't talk about time in that way. I kind of see it as, like this, not a straight line. We still have to realize there will be an end to our schematic sooner or later, our chart, and then we'll go home. But, I mean, you might as well do what you're meant to do and be happy doing it, right? It's really not, a lot of people are like, well, that's just fantasy and that's a fairy tale world. Life isn't that, supposed to be perfect all the time. I'm not saying that it's supposed to be perfect. In fact, even when you meet your divine feminine, you're going to have challenges with each other too. That's what makes you grow. But I feel like it will be done in a more healthy, positive way, not a toxic, tear you down, rip your eyes out way. Because, and you might even be thrown aback when you're dealing with a divine feminine about how the fight between you when you do have disagreements will be, because it won't be all drama. It'll be, let's discuss it and let's talk about it. Let's heal it and let's figure it out together. That's how it'll be. It won't be like, I hate you and you're never going to see your kids again and I'm taking you for everything. It's not going to be that, because the divine feminine wouldn't do that. Because the divine feminine doesn't care. She has her own stuff. She's good to go. So she doesn't care. She doesn't care about how much money you got, how much money you don't have. She wants you to constantly be building up on yourself and doing things that make you high vibrational. And as long as you're doing the work and you're trying and you're persistent, then that's great. But she's not going to judge you for, say if you did leave this karmic and you lost everything. You think the divine's going to care? Divine's not going to care. She's going to be like, well, what are you doing then? What do you want to do? What's your dream? What's your goal? Where do you see yourself going, and what do you want? Can I help in some way? You know, I mean, that's how a divine feminine is. So there is some kind of dynamic here with my divine masculines. If this is your story, I am sorry, but I do feel like you're going to figure it out. And I do feel like there is some kind of transition that's going to be taking place over the summer. But whether or not you do it, I mean, it's really up to you guys. You have free will, like I said. So I can't really tell you. Everybody's story is different, but the one that I'm getting right now is pretty fucking toxic. Yeah, I would not want to be where you are right now. So I'm sorry that you're going through it. I will keep you in my prayers, divine masculines. But I am going to tell you this. If you do decide to escape and leave your karmic situation and you want to find happiness, then you got to take that leap and trust. Trust that you'll be protected. Trust that spirit's going to guide you. Trust that all the pieces will fall into place. Trust that you'll rebuild to your authentic self, and your foundation will be new again. It'll be different. It's not going to be like the old one. That's another thing. Spirit's kind of telling me, well, some of them are going to really miss that old life because they're so used to it. It's almost like people that are in prison. What do they call that? Stockholm syndrome, right? Like, you're so used to that environment. You're so used to that prison. And then it's like, well, what do I do now? I'm free. You know, and a lot of people don't know what to do with that freedom. But that's okay. Day by day. Step by step. Right? I would normally pull some oracle cards. I think I do have time, though. I do. Because I don't have to read her until 10. So, let me just see. I'm going to get the dark mirror because I wanted to confirm what I'm saying. Because even sometimes my divine masculine's like, no, my relationship's great. You know, yeah, we're working it out. There's hard times. And then they're making excuses for the karmic. You know why? Because you're so fucking brainwashed that you're not seeing it. I mean, or you're seeing it and you're just like stuck in like this fear where you feel like if I make one move, I'm literally, she's going to flip. Well, yeah, she's going to flip. So what? Who gives a shit? She's a karmic. Who cares? You know, and the same goes, you guys flip it. Well, no, because we're going to do the divine feminine next. But, you know, again, it's energy. So if I'm saying divine masculine, it could be a feminine who has a lot of masculine traits. And, you know, the same will happen with the divine feminine read. Just flip it if it's... But, again, if it's not your story, don't make it your story. Okay? I do have to say those things, you know. All right, let's get some oracle cards and see what's what. What's going on? Hold on, I'm going to need this. What's going on with my divine masculines and that are in karmic situations? What is going on with my divine masculines that are in karmic situations? I didn't think this reading was going to be about this because it could be that the reason why this energy is so strong is that you guys are on the precipice of thinking about it and making change. And so it's really strong right now. That's why I'm picking up on this story the most. So I know there's some of you out there that need to hear it. What is going on with the karmic and the divine masculine now? My spirit guide's like, no, this is good because they need to hear it. They need to get out of this situation. A lot of you are getting depressed. A lot of you are losing hope. You're thinking that you're stuck forever. You're not. A lot of you are feeling sad about this, you know? Dang it. All right, I'll tell you what it says in a minute. Hold on. Let me just get a few more. Oh, I got like 10 minutes. So I'm trying not to rush. Ugh. Yeah, so you guys are, whoever this energy is, whatever scenario this is, there is somebody who is, you guys have already met your divine feminine. In your mind, you've met your divine feminine, you've met your soulmate, whatever name you want to call it. It's your person is what I'm getting. But the problem is you're not with them. You're with the karmic. And I think this karmic must know. Yeah. Hold on. I think this karmic must know about your feelings about this person. But it's almost like maybe there's a part of you that feels like it's too little too late, or you think like the divine feminine doesn't even want me now. I screwed that up so bad, they're not even gonna want me. You know, that's another cop out. I'm calling bullshit. I'm sorry, but I have to. That's another cop out because you're still thinking about them. Queen of my world. We always get this card for the divine feminine. She's wearing a crown. She's wearing a flowing red dress. Red is about creation, passion, root chakra. This is someone who grounds you, makes you feel safe, secure. This is someone that you call home. You're having memories about your childhood or how things were, like the child I used to be. So there's a sadness here. Like she's holding this tree, but she has yet to plant it. So there's something that you want to plant and you want to grow, but you just haven't done it yet. And it could be wanting a relationship with the divine feminine because you're with the karmic. So, this is what I'm getting with the karmic. So the karmic wants revenge either on the divine masculine or the feminine, the divine feminine that he's thinking of. She wants revenge. She's look at blood is coming from her eyes. I won't cry for you. Sorry, this one. I won't cry for you. Look at that. She's just she just wants revenge. She doesn't like any of this. She knows what's going on, or at least she thinks she does. The divine masculine might not even be in touch with this divine feminine, because I feel like the divine feminine is just living her life and doing her thing. But that doesn't matter, because if the divine masculine is obsessing or wanting to talk to the divine feminine, she's fully aware. He must have either said something, you know. There's something going on here where she is fully aware about his feelings for the divine feminine. But my divine masculines are, yeah. No matter what the karmic wears, does, looks, thinks, acts, has money, does well in business, doesn't matter. Because her fragrance, a black flower fragrance, when I get this card, when I read these cards, because I read them intuitively, it doesn't smell good at all. She still smells like darkness. No amount of makeup, no amount of stuff, no amount of furs, jewelries, cars, money, will ever make her the divine feminine. Okay? Two different energies here. Okay? I'm also getting with this, she's trying to switch the roles. Like, she's saying, no, I'm this. This is who I am. But he sees her as this. So, and this. He sees her that way. Just angry, vengeful. He feels very alone in the world. My divine masculines, you feel very alone in the world. And this could even be your divine feminine, just you're thinking they're alone because they don't have you. And that could be possible. But they're not sitting alone crying and weeping about it. They're working, they're producing, they're doing what they need to do. They're staying on their path. They're not going to let this situation override what they need to do energetically with their higher selves, with their work. So do not think they're sitting around pouting for you, divine masculines. They're waiting for you to get your shit together and take the leap, but you're not doing it. So they're moving on, and there'll be another divine masculine waiting for them. So, triumph of lies. So I think in some weird way, my divine masculine knows what their karmic is doing to this divine feminine, and they're seeing the divine feminine win over everything this karmic's trying to do, and secretly rooting for them. It's almost like, oh, the divine feminine, she's still going, good for her, nothing's happening to her. Yeah, nothing's going to happen to the divine feminine. The divine feminine is fully protected, and no matter what the karmic tries to do, it's only going to backfire onto the karmic. Yeah, and then they'll have to atone for their sins, if you believe in that kind of thing. But there's some kind of atonement here where the karmic's just like, fuck. All these swords I tried to throw at the divine feminine to keep my divine masculine tied to me, they're all hitting me back. One by one. That's a lot of swords, baby. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. And in the process, the divine masculine is forgetting himself. He's losing himself. He's going into this world. Well, if I have to be here, I might as well just... He might even be falling into some old behavior, toxic behavior, like drinking or just trying to forget his problems, or which makes me sad, you know, because we don't want you reverting. We want you clearing it. There's some regret here because they know that they're in love with someone else, and yet here they are pretending to be in love with the karmic. They're just blinding themselves to the pain while they're secretly obsessed with the divine feminine. There's a lot of sexual desire here, too. Living day by day, but it's going to get to the point where their obsession will become like an addiction, like constantly watching the divine feminine live their best life while they're stuck. So if you're a divine masculine that's going through this, you're slowly becoming a karmic by doing what you're doing. You have to stop. This is not, no divine feminine will ever be with a karmic. Never gonna happen. All right, I'm sorry, guys. That was a weird reading, but gotta put it out there. So, we know the scenario. For some people, it's not for everybody. Remember, I'm going to do a Divine Feminine reading after this one. I do have to go. I have to do my reading, but I love you guys, and I hope you have a blessed day, and Divine Feminine reading coming up next. All right, bye.